Welcome back. I have bad news. I lost an hour recording that was really pretty exciting, and I don't know if I can redo it, but I'm gonna try. So, this is my attempt to try to redo it. So, where to begin? Where to begin? I spontaneously started recording because I had a thought. In the past, I've very much focused in this area. I spent a while in that video recapping details, but I'm just not going to now. So if you're interested in more details, unfortunately, it's in my previous videos more so than it will be in this one. But in short, there's a current coming up this way and another current coming this way. That really is coming from over here, and then that fans out here. This here fans out there. The dragon is over here, forming underneath North America here, and these two currents interact, and a sphere is released from the decay of the ammonite particle that formed underneath Australia that releases a sphere through a siphuncle, maybe, out into the current, though, that then it basically gets caught here, and the currents themselves go around the sphere. And here, though, is actually all the way over here, so that's happening here, where the current is going, I believe, under here, at least initially. And then it's fanning a flame beneath it here that then goes this way and cuts open this segment, and then it starts to push into South America with the flame into these little divots it forms that then gets really lodged here when it's like directly opposite here. So the current's going this way, and then also there's a jet stream going this way. At least that's how I've interpreted so far, is that it's emitted out of the system upward and projected, although maybe it's really pulling it in. It's possible it's just the opposite, pulling it in it's creating so much energy that it's pulling in even more. I don't know. But let's go ahead and go under the interpretations. It's going out either way. It goes out, though, and then it splits in two directions, and anything to the east side is under North America. Anything to the west side ends up being more going into what would form the open ocean, I guess. At least that was my initial interpretation. But so, yeah, probably, yeah, definitely. But so this current goes to the nose of the dragon. Okay, so that's basically the recap. 4 minutes, we're at the recap. That probably took me 20 minutes in the other one, so let's say I'm already a third of the way. So, also, this structure is really important to what I was talking about in the video. It's generally unbuttoned the Honduras and Yucatan Peninsula from one another. They were conjoined, then they broke apart by this severance underneath the underneath. It's basically a current flowing this way that then produces like a backstop to current flowing this way. Or this way again. It doesn't really, anything I say, either direction, doesn't necessarily matter per se, except for in particular instances, like in terms of like, it doesn't matter that it's flowing one way or the other. It may be distinguishable at some at point, but right now there's not like an absolute unequivocal distinction in it. I generally put it as going this way because like the current comes in here. I guess honestly it would be just pulling in if there's a current going up this way, colliding with this current, creating a boundary. Unless it creates a flow this way, but then it turns around here and goes back. But that's kind of, I mean, maybe it just runs into resistance and bends. It doesn't really bend though. It looks more like if anything it goes this way and then goes up and into the resistance and goes this way, up and into the resistance, and at times like clearing the resistance and going all the way up here, creating basically a maximum boundary here. So like this system happening where the sphere gets lodged here and then currents above it that then produce this current, as well as just generally a maximum boundary. This is the maximum boundary of this chunk that breaks away from here, from North America, that was underneath a substantial amount of it and just slid out, where this was literally underneath it here and slid out. Okay, so this current though is flowing across, it runs into this current and it back pressures, and that causes basically buildup of material, which then leads to more up and down flows, turbulence, which then leads to a very distinct structure here that's just kind of like, what is going on? What is that about? Like, I've never heard it talked about. I'm not sure if it, there's a lot of features on this map like this. I don't think anyone's mentioned this. Those two features are very distinct and singular in nature. It swirls into a center, has all these little divots along the boundary, has this smooth edge here. Very anomalous. Even this is pretty anomalous. But same for this. This is anomalous for sure. This is definitely anomalous. But this too, and this too. So, this is definitely very anomalous. Okay. But notably, it, like, if we follow these jet stream type things over here, it looks like, honestly, it looks like right here we're finding there's a path going this way that's carving in this way. But then there's another path possibly going back. It looks like it could be, like, based on this, that it could be going back. If it was going this way, it would probably be protruding more the other way in instances like this. Hard to say there. And then at that point, it's kind of hard to say up here too. It looks almost faded out there. Like maybe it goes. That brings me to a topic that I haven't brought up, and the reason I started recording in the first place, in the first video that became a corrupt file when my computer crashed because I had so many tabs open, was trying to do Photoshop and record them through Streamlabs. This is pretty extensive amount of things for given how many tabs I had open. It was a matter of time, and then it just crashed. I was about done too. It's okay. It's almost like I got a practice run. So what I'm gonna do is explain that essentially in the past I've kind of been like, these currents, like, I thought they just, because I thought they were jet stream type things, they didn't give a shit about any of this. Like, they cut right through this. right through it. This current's going this way. They went right through it. Did not care. I figured they just did not care up here either. But they really don't exist up here. The only thing that even resembles anything related to them in that angle is the Hawaiian Island chain of the Emperor Seamount chain portion, which isn't like it maybe could be related if it was older down here and younger up top, but it's not. So it doesn't even fit in that way. Although maybe if it's a jet stream this way. If it's pulling it in, then at least it makes some sense that it's pulling it in. Although maybe maybe it is a jet stream in. But I was thinking, so this is what made me record. It was actually I've realized, like, if we follow this to the nose of the dragon, and instead of just like assuming it went straight, like there are paths off of the nose of the dragon that just suddenly go this way, and that looks a lot now that like when I looked at it, I was like, now that I look at it, it does kind of resemble this. I mean, it's these things over here, and they also are like other places, so it's a little odd, but maybe they're related is kind of what my thought pattern was. So then I started recording, and I noticed a bunch of things that are pretty interesting, but one of the when I had the computer crash, I was doing this, where I just took this area and I said, what if I just take it like this, lasso this region here, right up to the like there, and then just kind of cut it off here, go over that way, and just cut it, paste it, and then put a little stroke around it, bigger stroke around it, some color that's more visible. Okay, whatever. That's fine. Okay. So, now we can kind of check out. Let's say we turn it. Let's say 45 degrees. So this is coming in at the nose. So if we just put the nose, it's kind of open, like it's not quite parallel here. These currents and these currents are not quite parallel. So maybe another minus 10 degrees. I put it to minus 60 degrees. So now 60 degrees, interestingly, pretty much is parallel. So if we notice the nose, if we put the nose up to here, some interesting things happen. This line, much more in line with the, like it just continues and bends. This one, hard to say. I think because this structure goes up this way. Let's pull up the map itself. Essentially here kind of goes back to this dot, which goes back to something. So around there, it like generally connects to there. This one maybe to there. Okay. Then over here to like this one, maybe. Or actually, there's another one there, so maybe that one goes to that. And then this one Like it comes off of the middle line to like here. It's not really visible down here. Maybe it comes off here and goes over a bit. This one just goes straight through over here. So maybe like that even has a kind of a line to it and then goes over. So these are probably related to them. I was thinking it's possible. I didn't say this in the video. I was thinking that if I just like if it goes over, up and over, like these go over, then they just go over and go over, and then they cut through and go over and continue to do these like cross current paths, and then they go over. Although I don't see them really in this. Don't really see them here. But like there's currents coming out here going across. And then currents coming out here going across. So they're like crossing, creating, basically as they cross, because they have space probably, they don't eddy so much as just create like certain boundaries where the current builds up resistance and then breaks through and then builds up resistance and breaks through and just does this kind of structured thing here. But this doesn't look related directly. Maybe those look kind of like it. Those look closely related to currents. I wonder if I mean, it's not angled. If this thing is sending out currents that then, like as the ocean open in a similar way over here, where it goes this way and then this way, maybe it goes this way and then this way, but more so from the ammonite structure than it appears over here. Okay. Let's see. There's so many things I didn't say. So, this little thing here, this half circle next to the head of the dragon, that's kind of indentation in the hexagon, or protrusion, I guess, from the hexagon. Indentation protruding. This thing, though, if we look at that, put the head of the dragon nose to this stream, and now we look at this thing as we pull it in, like up and abut it to like here, like it actually has a full circle and an inner circle. And if we look at this area, let's look at this area. I hadn't noticed this before. Like, it's kind of just there by itself without the other half. It kind of looks like it has another half, but it's not nearly as defined as this or as defined as this. It's almost like this is the actual boundary, and then this, the whole of it, is the container. So we're really seeing, when I do this and bring it up here, I'm actually covering like the contained material that is missing here, because this got filled with new material that just filled this whole region. It filled that too. But like this boundary was down here. So that fits really well, particularly when they're parallel. Oh my god, look how Bighorn Mountain would be around there. That would be around Bighorn Mountain on this thing. Like it opened. Although this is after it opens. Bighorn Mountain's over here, actually, post-opening. I'm just wondering if it, like, added... Like, if it was over here relative to there, and then it physically opened that much space as the... as this space opened, because essentially from around Costa Rica, it was conjoined down here. Smoothly conjoined, none of this gap was there, so like pretty much like it was just in here, up to here, here to here, and then just squished in so that it was just one landmass. And what was I saying? So maybe Bighorn Mountain, which is this structure, maybe was closer, where it was more like here at a time relative to South American point there, like that distance away. Here is that point to Bighorn Mountain over there, relatively speaking. I'm not sure if they'd be that close, even if the continents were closer. But anyway, so let me get back to this part, because I really inspected this. Maybe I can do this like this. New. Let's say that. Creates. And then. Full screen. We really want to focus here. Just about here. Just about right there. Okay. Post that there. Don't scroll out. Don't change the size. Okay. And then this. And then we can probably cut out some of this. Just go ahead and maybe trim these back to about here. Thinking about here. Just above that structure. And then maybe just there. And we might be interested in this area, so let's go ahead and do this. Paste, close that off. Okay. Now we need to turn it like that much, I guess. Maybe not actually. Undo. So this here, notice. There's some interesting things here. This area. Very distinct. So let's make this maybe opaque enough to like overlay it. Or high enough opacity to overlay it, not opaque. Opposite of opaque. Transparent. -5 maybe? A couple degrees. Okay. Just looking. Notice it's got this bar, big thick bar, and then this really dark bar, and then another bar. Big thick bar, and then this thin bar, and then another bar, but opposite. Notice there's circles around. If we look around this area, let's just look around this area. Maybe look somewhere else real quick. So there are circles over here. But like, let's say here. Not really circles here. Here's one, maybe a little bit. Some over here. Some over there, but like definitely not so much here. This is a little bit. Okay, point is, when we look over here, we see them like this. 1, 2, right adjacent to each other, but at an angle. And right before this bar. And then down below is another structure, another one down here, another one down here, kind of in a line. Although this is really like the angle it's coming in is like this. I think it's opening space. This goes back to there. Okay, so this goes up and then runs along this, although it's not at the exact same angle. But if we look at this map, this here, and just kind of follow it. This way. Then we see like there seems to be maybe a current going in there. Like along here. Imagine there's a current coming this way, and then there's another current going across. Then it builds a mound just before the cross current because it's running into the cross current, so then it's almost like a wall. Possibly also because it's not getting through as much this region, so it's more focused through here. It's more able to go through this stretch than it is to go through here in general, so that combo of things goes through here, though, creates a wall. This also may be opened up afterwards. Like as these beams change position, because they weren't always flowing relative to this position of North America, it seems. So that going up this way, though, and just holding a boundary here generally. And then maybe, this is my thoughts, going up and then literally over this way. Out. And then suddenly we're here, going across here, back to here, and then back down through here. Like, is that too ridiculous? Like, my thought is maybe it formed a little loop, like it sent a jet wave away and then it came back, and then that jet stream, this jet stream coming out of the peak got bigger and then bigger, 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 but it's also a loop. Like it's leaving and coming back, and then leaving and coming back, but more leaving, and it's coming back. So it's got both aspects of leaving and returning. So it basically forms a full circuit, maybe. That, wait, this one. Across here, into here. Cross here, down here, through here. Over, and then, like, down one of these channels, over, and then back. Let's see which one that might be, though. It looks like, honestly, if it's incredible. Like, how does it even do that? I don't know what to make of that. This string, like the one where this starts, is actually the one leaving goes out and comes back to itself. What in the fuck? Okay, before I get too distracted, let's just click this. 1, 2, 1, 2. Little off. Okay. I think I was putting it more like exactly there, but now that I'm realizing there's this like center to base it off of here. This is where it unzipped. It wasn't just these Yucatan and Honduras, like all of it. This went through all of the islands that ended up getting like broken out here. So I guess it ran into resistance of this current going through this way from here across. Just like, does this point back? I'm just thinking it might point back to about here, which was here. So like before it opened, this current was just going across this span. It was like, especially across like that with these jets. But it was just going across there at this boundary, and then just off of this boundary, these currents seemingly. So like that one, that maybe actually goes all the way up to this one, or both. Like it goes this way, bends, goes over here, but it also goes up and through and around this region, maybe across and over. And back through these side loops over here. Just wondering if this like comes back and then has any indication that it like shoots out. Comes back and then it re-enters like a exiting current. I was also feel like this has a current going this way for sure, but it might have a secondary current like on this side. One here. Oh, this looks like one. Maybe they, but it could be two, like very close to each other. Then there's this. Seems kind of straight. Right there. I don't know if that's maybe one of the side currents. maybe it went up this way and then returned back this way in like a big flame. Like out into the ocean and then back. Out into the ocean and then back. Out into the ocean and back. In this flame here. And then over time, that just the ocean started to open, so it like repositioned. But it was still going up and in and then out. Maybe it switched even, like then it went in, down. It's so I'm thinking of like changing energy levels. Like it sends the energy up and then the energy falls back down, but it falls back down with the system so energized that it's all the way over here. Like it's changed its energy level. I don't know if that's possible. It's so completed circuit though. What in the fuck do I make of this? Like plate tectonics doesn't contemplate these types of things to really run into like what in the why would there be a completed circuit within itself like that? Maybe they come across. I was thinking once it expands though, then it's going across here, over here. I do not know what to make of it. Like, does it keep going? We should be able to distinguish flows, direction of flow along this channel. Like things like this. This suggests it's coming this way. But then this suggests it's coming this way. So maybe there's two currents, one going this way and one going this way that goes this way. Maybe. This looks like it even influences there and then maybe goes through, but not really. But then this one, like this is let's go back to these circles. These two, that one. Above it, along it. In it, there. 1, 2, 1, 2. Those two, let's see. Oh. It's kind of where this is. This one, kind of where that is. I don't know. This, like, missing thing, if you will, is kind of where that is. So I was thinking this one, though, held this boundary. Came up this way, held this boundary, and then went up this way. Maybe generally went up through here. Fades out for sure, but up that way, 2 up there. That's interesting, though, that it goes up there to this region. Because I wonder if we follow this one, because that would be one of the ones to this side. So if we follow these that go up here, this one goes through here, which then goes over here. Whereas it goes here, and then also seemingly like splits over here, like they're both of these. Which kind of meanders over to this way even. And like this whole region seems tied to this, which is tied to the streams coming off the side here. Although this one might be more so tied to up here. That seems to maybe be going all the way up here. But again, it seems like it goes there and there. Possibly through there, I don't know. I mean, this is for certain what is causing the Baja California accretion, Baja BC accretions, all the things going on up here. These currents are just shoving into there, I guess. So that strongly suggests that this is going this way. So there's energy going this way. Same for here. It's probably just running into so much resistance from currents over here that it's actually bending. Joining those currents. Somehow forming a loop. I don't know what to make of that. I definitely did not do full justice to what I was talking about in the last one, but that's okay. At least I pointed out what I was generally getting to, just so it's like recorded. This one, though, it seems to have a relationship over here. Like, why would it have this little narrow streak? It's kind of odd if it doesn't, like, source from over here. Or go to over there, I guess, but maybe actually go to, because it's probably this current going over and then going this way and this way. Oh my god, there's so many things. I feel like I'm on the cusp of something major, but it's very difficult to decipher These are pretty much pointing at me, this here. Let's pull up a map. One of my trusty animations. Let's see what's up here. It's like as the Earth needed to finish the process, it needed a secondary system that was so energetic that it was like running on overdrive, like putting out its maximum output. Hawaii, the sphere of Hawaii, was putting out intense currents, whereas Earth just could not put out those currents. So it literally needed a secondary system that it produced to then puncture through and fill regions that the Earth couldn't fill otherwise, to balance out and bring equilibrium. I don't know. Because I feel like it was literally like this current's coming up here to here, and then it's bending this way across here by hitting this, literally hitting it and pushing into it and bending this way. But then the current itself straightens out, like it bends over. Kind of like maybe, I'm not sure if the data supports what I'm thinking right now, where it almost has like a pivot point where it's just this current's drawing into there, and then the Pacific plate like rotates out, like starts to slide out around this like gear point. I mean, this stuff would slide in, so I don't know if that's, I feel like it just slides. It doesn't turn really. It probably turns more so off something like Bighorn Mountain location than something like there. I'm just thinking that because it has this intense jet that's there, that the jet bends over this way, so maybe it would prefer to be going more in a straight pattern, so it like redirects over time, and then when the process is done, it's redirected so much that the currents are going this way across like here. That's going to Sarasota. This one's going to Florida-ish. And then maybe cross here, maybe like participating in this boundary. I don't know. Going through this way though. This current coming and joining it, going through this way, like they're just etching over there. It's so hard to say. Time, so many things that are like based on timing. That's probably not what caused this etching here, really. The currents like coming across that way. Because that probably happened before it was all the way over here before it had this like space between. Dude, hello. Da, da, da. Could it have pushed it up here and brought it out there? Just kind of weird. Okay, it was over here-ish. Maybe here. And then it's over here. It's so complex to even entertain it. I feel like people who like disagree with my actions are like, or it's just wrong. Well, how the fuck do we know if we don't look? How do we know if we don't look? Oh, we don't. That's right. That's right. Not saying everything I say is correct, but I got some firework breasts. That just gets shit on. Just shit on. Oh my god. The amount of shit on my work, it's not allowed to speak. I'm literally left to die. That's what this world chooses. Eh. What, you're not gonna fucking play our game? Alright. We'll wait. Actually, we're not even paying any attention. Don't worry. We won't even wait. We're just moving on and disregarding. You can die on your own perfectly fine. You don't need our attention while you do it. But don't try to get it, because we will. No. Nope. Stop it. That's not allowed here. Did you read rule number 72 of handbook of the bullshit of another website that someone made some other rules that you gotta agree to? So you, like, agree but don't really agree. Oh, rule number 47 says if you like cheese, you gotta post that on the cheese Reddit. Didn't you understand? We only talk about other dairy products here. It says non-cheese dairy products in the rule of number 42.7a, section 7. God, fucking stupid. People are stupid. They don't understand the rules. The rules said. Like, dude, do you know, like, governments suck? And then you want some fucking online HOA bullshit? Like, god damn, people are. We're like reaching peak control to a point where, like, it's gonna need just unwound. The coil is gonna come uncoiled. Where there's just like, oh, no. What do you mean, no? I mean, I don't agree. What, you guys gonna do it anyway? I see. This rock's pretty cool. Some layers. This side's pretty cool right there. That reminds me, before I end this, I might need to make another video about this. I might need to make another video about it. I'll just mention it in case I forget, honestly. In case I forget to make a mention later. There was a post. There was a post, I say, that I commented on because it was awesome. So I can probably just say, where is this? Okay. Spheral cross sections from impact, which I don't agree with the interpretation of impact, no offense, because that's just not what is causing these things, at least not in traditional interpretation of impact. But it doesn't really matter. What we're doing is looking at what's caused. So this is a spheral, that this image right here. Oh my god. Mind you, what is the scale? 20 micrometers. So right here is a feature that caught my attention. Here, very big, obviously. It's the most orderly, but like these are large, but they're not quite as orderly as this, especially in combination with its surroundings. That it really caught my eye. Although this is interesting, like this coloration here with a little like square, almost like an arrowhead, honestly. So they hit the arrowhead. Okay. Besides the point, this structure really caught my eye. And mind you, it's an impact. So look at the structures. They're very straight lined, very orderly, like straight, pointy, jagged. So we're seeing pointy, jagged things with straight edges that are impact related, worth noting, just saying. And so what caught my eye most about this, though, is this crack that goes down here, but also comes down this way. It runs into this point where it has this little divide in the crack, and from the divide in the crack, this thing comes. Those look like shark teeth right there. Those look like shark teeth with little jagged pointedness to them. But it like clearly originates there, where everything else is a little more hard to decipher what might be going on. This one, like right from it, to me, this crack formed to about here, where then it started to form this, and then the crack like continued. But so like this crack goes across it, but it not until after it had already formed this structure. That's my thoughts as it came through here, and then got to there, where then this structure was especially being shaped then, before the crack like vented energy. It's interesting, this bends. This crack's coming across, and then it bends right where whatever's going on here, like the connection from the middle. Wow, this has, I didn't notice all these. Wow. That might be because this is a cross section that they cut. But it looks, maybe not though, given this. But anyway, it connects across, like it's a short circuit kind of thing. And then there's all these blobs here, suggestive of a higher energy amount, like just more energy, maybe not as orderly, but just more. And then it came across here, maybe while this crack was forming, and redirected the energy out this way. But then the crack was more so this way, so once it passes this cross current, it just keeps going straight too. but it also like merges with the cross current this way. Notable. Okay. I'm not sure about this one. That's a little odd. Goes this way, and then suddenly it might be like a 90-degree angle here. And then maybe some subtle current flowing through here that is etching even these cracks in the same way as on Earth. It doesn't matter that these are micrometers. It's got a little jump there. Okay. I could go on. There's lots of cool stuff in this, but maybe we can check out a couple more. Let's see. This one is odd. This is on 2 micrometers. Also, this is a post by my Kozen. This is their actual work also, so thanks for sharing it literally the day of. Fucking cool, man. I didn't really look at this one. Nothing like really grabbed my attention in the same way as that really elongated structure. I mean, everything's interesting. It's just nothing's like popping out to me is the same way. Something maybe from that if I think about it. That almost looks like teeth. A lot of these things kind of look like teeth. Okay. Peace out.